Just when you think we're done, we come with shit like this. What you know about the Riverdale kids? You're damn right, we still do it for fun. Just when you think we're done, we come with shit like this. What you know about the Riverdale kids? You're damn right, we still do it for fun.
The air is thick and I can feel the tension. By the look in your eyes, I see apprehension. Another dimension and another.
We're good.
Oh, he flipped the camera. He flipped the camera.
What the
Flip the camera,
fuck?
Josh.
I'm a retard.
He flipped the camera.
I love it. You got the clubs out there.
No, back. Flip the. There we go.
We're good,
All
right?
Yeah, we're good.
Why the fuck? Why can't I get fucking Ken's on there too?
No, you're good. Don't even worry.
Yeah, no.
All right, fuck it, dude. I'm not the brightest kid around here.
This is unreal. This is what we were hoping for.
Jeez.
All right.
Tough luck.
Did you have a homework guy? Somebody, obviously, a Division I athlete. Did you have a guy on campus, a little squirt, kind of just pass along the classwork, say, hey, I need this done by Monday, that type of deal?
I mean, you could definitely find one of those. But no, I didn't. I was, I took the initiative and I tried to get it done myself.
That's
Spoken
beautiful.
like a true academia. So golf aside, you go out there to Thailand. You're 24 years old. Golf aside, what are you doing? The weekends roll around. Here, typically, we're out. I'm drinking beers with Kenzie. We're hanging out. You don't know the language. Like, what is your life like outside of golf? What are you doing? How are you getting assimilated to the culture?
Yeah. No, it's tough. Like, I remember, like, so my I didn't know anyone either, which was the hardest thing, right? Like,
right.
So not only am I in a foreign country where I don't speak the language, I also don't have any friends, So I'm like, I would during the day I'd go practice, and then like I'd get back to my apartment and be like, after I'd find a place to eat dinner, I'd get back to my apartment at 7:00, and I'm like, fuck, what now do I do? So yeah, definitely the first few months were the hardest, like just like trying to figure out the day-to-day, operations of like where I lived, especially like nobody spoke English. So I can remember like I used to eat at this restaurant right by my condo, and the first time I went there, I look at the menu and it's all in Thai, and there's just like pictures, and I just pointed at something. I'm like, that'll probably be decent, right? So I just pointed at it, and for like 3 straight days, every time I went there, the same lady was working, and I just said same. I said same. She just like brought the same thing, and like, yeah, working foreigner in Bangkok, like. I don't have the best game in the world, but you'll be all right.
Oh, you do just fine.
Who I was living with, it was his first tournament of the year, and he didn't get into it, so he caddied for me. And I can just remember like the whole week he was on the bag, and he was just like the most fucking confident, like cocky motherfucker, like just giving me reasons. Like I don't know, it was weird. Like I had this like weird sense of. Just like I'm the greatest player on the fucking planet and I'm going to win. And I can remember on the 16th hole, the final day, I had a 1-shot lead and I had 130 yards, and the pin was like, it was like a bowl, basically. Like you could hit it 15 feet right of the pin or 15 feet left of the pin, and it was going to feed down to the hole. And I just laid the sod over this thing and chunked the fuck out of it, and it came up 20 yards short of the green. And it was just this fucked lie. And I hit this, probably the best shot of my life, this flop shot up there to like 15 feet. And my buddy was like, before I hit the putt, he's like, dude, just fucking be aggressive with it. It was just downhill putt, like, whatever. And I made the putt dead center. And I walked to the next tee, and I'm like, I'm going to fucking win this tournament. And
Let's go.
And I burnt. And, yeah, the 17th hole, can remember being in the fairway, and my buddy's like, yeah, like it's just a tuck back right pin. And he's like, yeah, like 10, 15 feet left of it. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm going right at it. And I stuffed it in there 3 feet and made birdie. And I kind of got unlucky on my approach shot into the last hole. I kind of spun off the ridge, and I had 30 feet. And I got another, like, you just need luck to win sometimes. And the other guy in my group, he just happened to hit his shot. It ends up a foot in front of mine. So I have just a perfect read. I saw how slow the putt was up the hill, and I was just like, fuck, just give it a chance, you know? Like, how many times do you have a chance to win a golf tournament, you know? Just hit it. And fuck, luckily it went in because I was probably going to have like 5 feet slider down the 5 foot slider.
A little bit about this picture. It's not incriminating. We just got to know what the whole thing behind it. And we'll put it up on the pod when we get this thing up and posted on Spotify, on all the platforms. But just walk us through this picture a little bit.
Oh, damn. Yeah, so fucking, yeah. I mean, you saw Tiger King. You see how people are with their animals, right? Yeah, so I'm sitting in this this restaurant. It's kind of a restaurant where there's like a outdoor area, you know? And I see this guy pull up on this motorcycle. I'm sitting there and I'm facing the road, and I see this guy. He pulls up, and there's a fucking monkey like wrapped around him like it's his girlfriend. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So he walks in, he sits down, he orders the monkey, or he orders, and he's got the monkey's drinking out of the straw like he's a human. He's like, has a plate of food for him. He's like picking it off, like feeding the monkey. It was like, dude, I don't know, man. Some people are into some stuff.
You know, my first thought was like, this monkey looks like he could caddy 36 holes with no problem. You know, he's up there, he's sipping, he's got 2 drinks in front of him. One of them's a pitcher. You know, it looks like he's sipping on a mixed drink, and then it looks like he's got a beer next to him. I'm like, this monkey could tell stories better than anybody I know. He was sitting the way he was sitting at the table with his plate of greens. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah. It was like, you know, he was getting his freaking electrolytes from that fucking Gatorade drink he was drinking, and then he was fucking eating some cucumbers. Like, what the like, yeah.
Oh, that thing probably could have done fucking 95 chin-ups no problem after that. Your big stature, winning all these tournaments, everything. What happened your senior year at Gloucester High School at Seedless Glen? Did the girl take you down, or did you tie that chick in that match?
Oh, wow. Jeez, I had to think about that for a second. Oh, I've taken heat. I used to take heat for that for a while. I took heat for that for a long time. No, the girl was good, and she was teeing off from fucking 150 yards in front of me every hole, and she was driving the greens. And she was, you know, she met 2-putting for birdies, and I chipped in on like the 8th, or I think I chipped in on the 9th hole to tie her, and I fist pumped. Like, I was like fucking, I was pumped that I like didn't fucking lose the match, or I don't know if I lost it or won it. I forget.
I think you got the tie there. Hey, shooting like a 32 and tying some chicks, pretty impressive when she's teeing off that close.
Yeah, but I remember, I fist pumped, and fucking Tyler C was chirping the fuck out of me. I took heat on that one for a long time.
You did for years.
I've ever been to in my life. Like, this is like the March Madness. I'm a basketball guy. This is like my March Madness, watching the crowds fucking ripping. It was just incredible to watch. Like, that run, you know, and then going to the Garden. And you're just a freshman on that team, but you're playing a major role. That thing must have been going bananas.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Like, I mean, like, I can remember that double overtime game against St. Mary's in Chelmsford. Like, I mean, the place was packed. You couldn't hear the whistle. Like, and then obviously at the Garden,
high school game. It's crazy.
At the Garden, I think there was like 13,000. There was over 10,000 people there.
Yeah, the whole lower bowl was covered.
Yeah. But the
And I mean-
game, honestly, the game that I remember the most though out of that was it was one of the last games I think it was the last game of the regular season. It was against Danvers. It was at home. The place was sold out. There was like fucking 2,000 people at the Tank in Gloucester, and I remember getting to the rink like an hour and a half before, and like half of the crowd, like half of the bleachers was already full. Like you couldn't hear the whistle blow. I've honestly had never been more nervous for a game. The atmosphere in that place was electric.
Dude, that's the game. They were down about 3 goals with 2.5 minutes left. Won it in regulation, but at the same time, that was 3 freshmen: Josh himself, Biondo, and Paul Russo.
I forgot Biondo. Biondo was the other. Yeah.
Hey, all playing significant minutes as a freshman within about a three-quarter of a mile radius of each other's house.
I can
not next to each other.
Yeah, I can remember actually at that St. Mary's game in double overtime, we were killing a penalty, and I was taking the face off, and I looked over, and Biondo was to my left, and fucking Russo was to my right. We have 3 freshmen. We had 3 freshmen on the ice in double fucking overtime, killing a fucking penalty.
So none of us on the show were really lucky enough to play with our brothers in like real sporting events, maybe like Magnolia softball or something. But what was it like going on that run with your older brother scoring the game? He scored the game winner in OT. Like, what was that feeling? I mean, you grow up with your brother. What was that feeling like?
What a question. Good question. Yeah, I mean, we played on the same line. Like, he kind of just took me under his wing, fucking showed me the ropes, got in my face when I was being when I was being soft and wouldn't take a hit. No, but it was awesome. Like, obviously, seeing your brother score the game-winning goal in the Boston Garden under those circumstances to win the state championship, like, it was awesome. Like, I mean.
You played on his line. Were you on the ice for that? You come off the bench?
No. It was he was playing actually defense at the time, and like I think in overtime or at the end of the games he would go back to defense, and I think another forward would move up to my line. Yeah, he took it from basically the goal line to score. But yeah, obviously, like, being a freshman from the start, like, it was, the whole situation was made so much easier because I was going to the rink every day with my brother. He was one of the best players on the team, one of the best players in the state. Just seeing that, I was just more comfortable, because I grew up with him. I was fucking beating his ass when we were young, So when I go, so like, why can't I go out there and make an impact? That was kind of the mentality that I had, that I was the fortunate one that, had that front row seat, to school every day with him, to practice every day, that could pick his brain and got to play on his line and he could tell me to fucking pick
Jason
it up.
Zena has our fraud of the week. We're going to let him take it.
All right, I got my first fraud of the week. It's my work. I mean, Corona stinks. I get that. People are dying. It sucks. I'm working from home. It's the balls. Listen, I can work from home 3 to 4 days a week and go into the office 1 day a week. I'm pretty sure I would say a third of businesses that are behind the computer can do that. Philpott, you guys think you could go? I mean, I could stay home. I do the same amount of work, and I friggin' slack off for half the time.
And rip about 14 bowl hits.
No, I think you're on the right. I think you're on the right track with that. I'm all for the work from home type thing. For me, I don't have a kitchen table. I don't even have a kitchen. I don't have a table, so I don't have an environment that can support that. But I think you're 100% right. Like, if for all the workers out there in quarantine, if you have a setup where you can work from home and do it efficiently, why can't you be doing that year round?
Yeah. I've been playing on my lunch breaks. 2K18, I think. I've been playing as a 07-08 Celtics. against old teams every day. It's the best.
It keeps him in the mood to do work after all that I'm going to pick on from fucking about 2001 to 1999. His name's Joe Thornton. He's kind of a fucking loser. But as far as we know, he's going to be a Hall of Famer in the NHL and all this shit. People love him for all he's done. He's got a fucking great beard and all this shit. But he played a 7-game series against Montreal when I was 12 years old. And he scored 0 points while being the best player on the team, yet having 14 penalty minutes and no points in 7 games is bananas. And the thing that I found out today is before that, 3 years before that, he had 0 points in 6 games against the same team. So I think Jumbo Joe is a pretty big fraud, and he could go play in a couple fucking Broadway musicals.
I'm not the biggest hockey guy, but when you dive in and you look at Jumbo Joe's career, and I did this like a while ago just to see where he was at, because I was like, damn, Joe's still doing it. And then you look out in like his stats, he's up there in assists, he's up there in points. His career over a span of time is pretty legit. Like, there's no doubt he's a Hall of Famer, obviously. You obviously hold the grudge, you're a Bruins fan, I get that. But Jumbo Joe has got to be up there, especially when you're talking about American hockey players. He's got to be one of the all-time best to ever do it.
Adam, I don't want to fuck with you on this, but he's Canadian.
Canadian, yeah.
Yeah, he plays for the Canadian team.
I was going to say, if there's one...
Delete it.
Yeah, you got...
Delete it.
No, you gotta include that. You gotta include that all the time. That's so good. No, we'll take that though.
More American than Joe Thornton.